Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I'm back today to show you a project that I'm working on, and I wanted to kind of take you through it step by step with me. So I have a couple of books. These are two different books from the Dollar Tree, and literally they're $1. So I have been working on preparing these books to make an altered journal. So I wanted to share, there's so many people that have different ideas on how they like to prepare their journals. So I just thought, or their altered books, so I thought I'd share with you what my ideas were. I made a couple of these many years ago. So I've also been just going back and looking at other people, Gail Agostinelli, but really, I really am liking and following a lot exactly what she does is, and I love Gail, she does a great job too, but it's Crafty Irina. So, and I don't know where Crafty Irina is. I think she took a break from making YouTube, but if you haven't had a chance, go over there and take a look at her channel. She has some she's such a sweet person, has such a sweet voice, and just has some really great practical basic information on how to make junk journals or altered books. So anyway, so I'm going to just start here and show you what I was thinking. So I bought this book for $1, and when you go in, you're looking for books that are have a really good spine. They're glued, they're not just, like, they're not signatures, they're solid across. And what I do, and again, I base this kind of on a little bit of everybody and what I do, I take the first page, which is also connected kind of to the second page, I leave that one, and then I decide how many pages in I want to leave. So on this one, I did the first 3. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just whatever you like. And so with this one, I will make a pocket with this one. And I will glue, and if I had my glue here, I would do, oh, I do have it. Okay. So here's something else that Crafty Irina says. This is my first time at this. She suggests using Elmer's. There's a regular Elmer's, thank you, baby. My daughter just brought me tea. A regular Elmer's glue, like, well, sorry guys. I knew I was going to do that. I've kind of got things stacked up to put away here. A regular Elmer's glue, and then I saw this one that's a glue all. It's like maybe 30 cents more. And this was at my H-E-B, so I don't even know what they sell it for at like Walmart. But it was less than $2. It was like $1. It was less than $1.50. So it says it's extra strong formula, and it dries fast. It is a multi-purpose glue for household repairs, craft projects, and more. So I'm going to try what Crafty Irina says. Now, if you don't feel good about that, you could always use the Aleene's Tacky Glue. You could always use what's the one? Hold on. You could always use the Fabri-Tac, which is fantastic, but that one's really expensive. You could also use Art Glitter Glue. This one's great, but it's also a little bit more expensive. So I thought for this particular project, I would just use I would try the Elmer's glue. So I picked it up today at the grocery store. So I go in and I'm getting ahead of myself. So I decide how many of the first few pages I want to keep. And then I will be covering these with scrapbook paper or, pockets or whatever it is that I want to put in here. And then I tear out 8. I take out 8 pages. I look for books that are between 250 and 300 pages, and I take out 8 in between. And then I have 2, 1, 2, and then I start again. So the reason I have 3 here, and I'll show you why there's 3, and then I go all the way through to the end of the book. Now, on the back of the book, I may have a few more. Like, I'm really trying to decide, how many more do I really want to keep here? So right here, I've got, let me see, 1, 2, yep, and then I took out, then 1, 2, and then I took out 8, because I was going to try to save a few to show you how easy it is to really tear these out. Okay, so sometimes when I get to the very end, I really like to keep 1, 2, 3 for sure. So I'm going to tear these 2 pages out, and it is this simple. Hold it at the top. Voila. Okay, and then I'm going to tear this next one. And if there were 8, I would take out 8. But because at the end of the book, I want it to, to work similarly, I'm going to do the same thing. hold on, let me think this through. So I've got 1, 2, yep, 3. Okay, so now, here's what I do, is I save all these, oh, so sorry, I didn't mean to bump y'all. Goodness gracious, earthquake, I apologize. So I save all of these torn out pages, and I just keep them right in here. If there's a page like this one that I might want to, because it has some kind of a, you know, a graph on it, or, you know, some kind of an illustration, then I'll keep that. What I'm going to do is I will keep these in this little cover, book cover, that it, you know, came with the book, and these I'll put in my coffee dye, tea dye stash. So, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one with coffee, one with tea. Does that make sense? There you go. So, Crafty Irina is the one who really impressed upon me that when you get ready to glue, you want to glue from the back. And you can glue them completely together, or you can make pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make pockets, and it is this simple. It is a little tiny, and I'm sorry, it's the first time I've ever used this glue. So I did kind of squish that one out quite a bit, but I think I'm just going to kind of do the rest with my fingers. And, but she talks about using just a small bead of glue, come across, and then make your first pocket. And she always says work from the back to the front. So I like the way her books look. They don't look too rippled or too messed up, and I really did boo-boo with that glue. Hold on a second, guys. I was very excited to try that new glue. It comes out fast, let me tell you. It's not like the little thin ones. So anyways, what I was going to say is she has it come from the back, and then she moves forward. So, alright, so you can make them so they're a pocket like this. Okay, so that's a pocket like this. And then the other thing, and Gail talks about this, which any of you who've made these junk journals. So I wanted to show you. So there was 3. So I did the last 2 pages, and then I had this one, and then I had torn out. So see all of this here? That's where it's torn. I'm not going to move it, because I don't want to change the stability of that spine. So that stays there. So what I'm going to do is, now Crafty Irina, she will glue up in here. And I have never done that. And I'm not saying it's not a great idea. I've just never done it. So for today's, you know what? Let's just try it. We're trying her glue. Let's try it. So she does a thin bead of glue right up in here. And she, if there's any big globs on each end of the paper tears, she'll tear those at each end out, which I do the same thing. And then I'm going to make this one a top loading pocket. So I am just going to go like that. And I am really kind of crazy with that glue. I'm not being very straight. But tells you what, I need to get clean off my workspace here. That was on my list to do today, but had to work too much today. But so now we have 2 different pockets. Now if you're concerned about that they would stick together or anything like that, then just have something that you would put in between, you know, that you would feel okay with. But if you glue better than what I did, you don't really have that issue. So now I have a top loading pocket. So there's that. So now here is an odd one, and there is some torn pages because we're working from the back to the front. So on this one, I wanted to show you there's like 4 different kinds of, you know, that I can think of right now, but there's probably more. Ways to do your pages, to make pockets. So this one, I'm going to make it like a turn down page pocket. Does that make sense? And you're probably going, yes, it makes sense. Quit asking that. It's a habit. That's what happens when you're a teacher. You're always making sure everybody knows. But I'm not going to glue this yet. And I will tell you why, because I'm going to want to cover, put scrapbook paper here, or whatever it is I'm going to use. And then I will glue it here. I'll glue here and here. And if I want, like Crafty Irina, I can glue right up that spine and, you know, on the inside here, and that'll be another pocket. So, now, so first we have side pocket, we have a top pocket, we have a slanted pocket. Now, I'm going to turn these over, and now I come again. I've got the 1, the torn in between, and the 2. And this one I'm going to make like a flap pocket. Now, you can do this however you want. You can take it all the way back, You can, you know, take it to here. You can, however you want to do it. You could literally take it and come up this way too. You know, it's however you want to do it. I'm just going to do the simple half page flap. When I glue, I will glue here, 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 and then I will put that down. And then if I, depending on what I'm going to do, because this is going to be another tuck, I will glue here, you know, along this, on the inside here, right here. That will go down, and then the same thing up here, and it will go down. You can fold this under. You can do all kinds of stuff. There is a lot to do in an altered book. So, you can literally just glue now 2 pages together and make it a thicker page. You can, I mean, it's whatever that you see that you want to do in your journal or your altered book. This is how easy. Now, look at how much I took out. Isn't that a lot? And even though these are still wet, the rippling, there will be, the thing that's going to happen here is it's going to be even. We're not going to have to come back and trim pages or anything. It's all going to be even. And when I build this book, I will try to have my pages that I'm going to put in here pre-cut when I come back with you guys, and then it'll just be assembling. And I want you guys to see how easy and quick this particular project can be. You will make a lot of pages out of this. It will be a really fun book for others to work on. The trick here is not only in the pages that you put down, but also, you know, that you cover with your book print. I mean, you may want to keep the book print depending on the book, but this one's about like food allergies, so I'm not, or allergies period. I'm not sure anybody's going to read that, but you don't know. And actually what I'm really thinking about doing for this one is making this a very shabby chic faith or prayer journal. So I just bought some beautiful Digis from the old barn, my old barn, on Etsy. I'll try to link it below. If I forget, just leave me a comment. I'll try to remember to get that there though. And I'm going to put something over the spine, but I don't really want to cover too much of this up. I like the white. I like the yellow. It just looks like spring, summer, whatever you're thinking. I do have some summer projects that I'll be doing too, so I'm not sure. I may use this as summer, I may not. So, the next thing I want to show you guys really quickly, so again, I'm just going to take all that paper. It will make great, all kinds of stuff. We're going to have many videos on what to do with book pages. So, let me move that out of the way, and now I'm going to get to this one. So, this is a book I really wanted to read. As many of you know, I taught special ed, and I worked a lot with ASD students, and within our family, we have some ASD, you know, health-related issues. So, long story short, but I started looking at the outside of this book, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. I mean, I'm going to look for it again. I'll buy it and I'll read it. And actually, I can read some of the pages, you know, as I go. But I've already pulled my pages out. And when I saw this, my brother's birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. He was born in 1976, and he's younger than I am quite a bit. But he had a bedroom that was made during the bicentennial. So in 1976, he had this phenomenal room with like the fife and drummer. The drum was a bedside table. He had all the, I mean, it was amazing, the stuff that my parents had got from him. And they bought it from a friend whose child had outgrown it, that kind of a thing. So I thought it might be fun to make him kind of a red, white, and blue. I've picked up some paper at, Joann's that was on sale, I don't know, a couple of months ago. So I'm going to pull all that out, and I'm going to work on this one first. So when you come back in this next couple of weeks, because I'm way ahead of my filming, I still have so much of the filming from the February, and I probably have learned my lesson on my first real Craft With Me project. I have been told over and over, turn the camera on and just share it with your, with your subbies. I think I shared a lot, and so I will be more discriminating. But I was also rebuilding stash, building ephemera, things like that we like to do and have on hand when, you're just like, oh, I can't think anymore beyond, the colors of the page kind of thing. So, but I am excited. His book was just under 300. So again, I went with that same formula. Keep, start with, 3 or 4. Keep, keep the 2, or keep, do it in odds. In other words, and then take out 8 even, and then odds, you know, or 2. I take that back. Let me start over again. I start out with an odd amount, like 3. And then I bet I started with 5. Yeah, I started with 5. So I start with odd amounts. So this way I have these 2 can be pockets. This will begin the next pocket because here's the 8 that we're pulled out in between. So, but the next time you come back, I will have this pre-glued. You guys will have already seen how I glue the pages. I want that to dry really well, and then I will begin with the paper I'm going to put down and all of that. So I really wish I had space to put down or to sew on my pages, but for this one I'm not going to get to sew on it. I'll have to do it next time. My sewing machine is packed up, ready for how I'm going to set things up in the new craft space. So anyways, and again, these are all my tear outs, and I will save these, and we will have projects with that will go back in the book. And then I also wanted to share that this is my tear book, or my glue book. So when I have things I need to glue, I literally just put it down here. I take my stick of glue, I mean, you know, whatever it is that I'm trying to glue, and I just glue like that, and then the glue goes over. When it gets to be too thick and yucky, I add a little bit more glue, and I fold these in half. So these can be like, you know, pockets in a book. They can be all kinds of things. And so I wanted to share that with you. We're going to have some things that we'll work with as well. But in the meantime, if you haven't already started with this is a great, ooh, that's neat. Okay. This is a great tool to use when you're working in your craft space. It keeps your mat. My mat has always got glue on it. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter even how much I wash it. I mean, I literally come in and scrape it all down every single time, but it just makes a mess. So anyways, but long story short, this is my glue book. I also make other, you know, paper to put in my projects as well. So, all right. I hope that helps you see a little bit of the new project. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I am excited to come back. Making altered books is not hard. It's super easy, and I want you guys to feel confident and comfortable doing it. So I thought we would do, and this is the best first junk journal you could ever make. I just can't say that enough. It's cheap if you go to the Dollar Tree. It's not difficult. It's pretty simple. You can sit and watch TV and pull your pages. That's what I do. I tear them out when I'm watching TV. And the only tedious thing will be cutting all the scrapbook paper, but you have the same size page on every single page of the book. You know, you might have some folds that are different, but basically you have the same measurements. So you could literally just sit and cut pages all day and get that prepped. I mean, it's not hard, I promise. So I will prep a lot of it. I'll prep most of it, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a couple of things on prepping pages, and then we'll start putting the pages together. Then we'll make the ephemera, and then we'll finish it on up, and it will be fun. So, and work on the cover and all that kind of good stuff. So, all right. So first we'll do that centennial book, or that, I don't know, patriotic red, white, and blue. There we go. I know it's weird for a February birthday, but I just thought, I don't know, I just wanted to do something that was personal for him. So, alright, my dear sweet friends, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty simplistic, but I wanted you to know it doesn't have to be hard. There's nothing about making junk journals that has to be hard, because point blank, it's paper. It's just paper. That's all it is. So if you make a mistake, you just start over again. It's not hard at all. And look at what a nice, you know, it really will be such a nice journal in the end. So, and you don't have to spend a lot on these. These altered books, you know, you may even have books on your shelf you want to get rid of, and you're like, hey, this isn't a bad idea. Just make sure that the spines are really good intact, and it's really good to not have like signatures like we do in most junk journals, but that they're glued all the way across and they're really down tight, that spine is tight. After that, we're home free. And always, if you start with me now, work from, once you tear all your pages out, glue from the back to the front, and everything will lay nicely. So, I mean, that's the whole idea. All right, I'm done. I pray your day's blessed, creative, and lovely. I'm super excited, can you tell? I hope you guys are too. I can't wait to come back and play in our new altered book project with you guys. And I pray your day is just wonderful, guys. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, send me an email, josephinesdesigns.com@gmail.com if you have any questions. And if you subscribe, we'd love to hear from you. And by the way, I wanted to say hello to Nora Aunt Tushy. I love that name, Aunt Tushy. You're great. Misty C. and Rosalind. Rosalind or Rosalind. Either way, it's a beautiful name. I love it. So we're so glad to have you with us. Thank you for subscribing. And if you'd like to, say hi. And if you haven't already said hello. And anyways, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. I will be talking to y'all soon. And we're going to craft and have a lot of fun. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.